What is up, guys? Let's see if I can make this video quick before the phone overheats. It's not as hot as it could be. It's not 110. It's probably around 100. A little higher than normal humidity because the monsoon season started. Which also makes evap coolers suck. So I think some people just expect a nice, crisp warehouse as if they had AC units. Especially when they do have AC units on the office space, train units. And then they're going to walk out to the warehouse, which is the majority of the facility, and it's muggy and maybe 82 degrees or something. So this time they told me they wanted me to check all the coolers again. You guys remember that live video I did like a week or two ago? Wanted me to check every cooler. This isn't the biggest rooftop we do, but it's the typical football field sized, about as wide as a football field and about as long. And it has 4 or 5 rows of coolers, so by the time you walk them, you walked a mile pretty easily if you just walk and check the pads on every cooler. So there is one cooler that wasn't working down there in the starter. Also set incorrectly. Look at that. It's set below the minimum. The motor is rated at 6.2 amps. So whoever set this up did set those a little low. I'm just going to crank them up about 8.5 or so. If the motor messes up, it'll pull that. Easy. 3-phase motors. So maybe I should open every panel as I walk by them. But anyway, this cooler here, I got to show you guys. Oh wow, it is infested. They're complaining because there's gnats or something in the space, and they see them come out the vent every now and then. So it's got to be the cooler's fault, right? It's not that they're out here in the boonies, which is probably got a lot of dirt fields out here. Let's see if I can reach over this wall. Yeah, that's what's next door. That might not have anything to do with a bunch of gnats and bugs and that it's humid and they're looking for a water source. It's got to be the cooler's fault, right? So that's one of the reasons they brought me out, because there's gnats or bugs or something getting into space. Well, it's aspen pad, so eventually some of these creatures are going to find a path through. None of the panels are loose. They're brand new, so the pads haven't sagged, creating large gaps yet. Looks totally fine. But every couple seconds or so, I back up, I'll see a swarm of those things just crawling around this thing. I wish the pinch to zoom would not be so sporadic on this thing. So, these little bastards, so I'm going to step on one there. They're crawling around. There's tons of them, whatever they are. They're big for gnats. What are those? They got wings. They almost look like flying ants or something. They're like the body shape of ants, kind of. Comments. Hey, what's that? So they're just crawling everywhere. There's tons of them. So I'll probably have to stop the video in a second, get a couple pictures, but termites. I thought they looked almost like termites. You think that's what those are? They're like flying ant-looking things. They could be termites. The termites like water, right? I heard that well, at least they're blind underground or something I heard. I thought someone said they were blind. Maybe they're just, when they fly around, they just fly around. Huh. Burn them with fire, that's right. Damn Burris. I knew a guy in Payson, a son of somebody I knew that was named Daniel Burris. I think I saw your name before, and you're not from this area, and you're a bit older than you would be. But yeah, sometimes there's a swarm of them, like I can't even hardly walk through them, and then they kind of drop. And I see a bunch of dead ones everywhere. Oh, I guess that they did have pest control come out. I don't know if they went up here, but there's a bunch of dead ones. Maybe I stepped on these ones, but yeah, they're just buzzing around. So, yep, nothing I can do about that. The job ends there. What do I use for the sun? Well, I usually use an umbrella for today. I put on this goofy hat and all that stuff. My passenger seat. other leading glass, progressive glasses do auto darken. Of course, if I lighten up, I have these over because this roof is just way too bright. So because I'm doing a lot of walking and I know I'm not going to be in one spot, I put on the hat. I hardly ever wear a hat. I just let the sun hit me, and then when I stand in one spot long, I'll just be under that umbrella you guys see. So the sun is good. It's vitamin D. I don't ever use sunblock. 49 years old, I don't use sunblock. I've probably used it less than 10 times in my entire life, and that'd be an exaggeration how much I've used sunblock. I don't use it. Probably good. Probably give me cancer from all the chemicals. So that answers that. So yeah. So anyway, just regular Aspen pack coolers. Here's some of the flying critters. Trying to get its way through the pad. Oh yeah, it's digging away. It's like wood. It probably is a termite. It's like, man, this wood is wet. What's going on here? UMP coolers, a lot better than these things. These are Phoenix coolers, and I think they're actually made there also, but some of their coolers are kind of junk. These ones are okay for Phoenix. Phoenix that makes the cell deck coolers. UMP is famous for cell deck coolers. They also make Aspen pack coolers like these. But UMP is what we mostly we have on most of our accounts. 3-horse motors typically, most of them. Cell decks on 1, 2, or 3 sides of the cooler. Which cell deck, for people who don't know that, this will refer to the pads that like a master cool would have. So, yeah. And they have prop fans. Most of the cell deck coolers typically have a prop fan. This is not a termite. Some other creature visiting for water, probably. Yeah, so it looks like I might part of my job today is inspecting for a bug problem. But blame it on the cooler. Plastic. There's some plastic ones like those. I can't remember what they're called. Something air breeze. Something that you see a lot of people stick in their modular trailers. Trade winds is one of them. Yeah. And then there's a couple weird brands we see around here. They have an electronic control board on their little coolers that. They have the regular float, but then they have before the float a solenoid valve, so when it's turned off, it stops the water. So I guess that'll stop you from water leaks if you like turning off the switch, which is good. Then they have a funky blower motor in them. Some of the Sealy, I think is the brand. Sealy coolers. They're kind of goofy. We only have them in a few places, and actually I think our company has them. They sound kind of funny because they're small axial fans that's at a higher RPM. So kind of think of a mushroom fan and it cools your computer, but larger. That's what those Sealy evap coolers use. So that's going here plastic. Okay, I haven't seen those here. Something for in the video, a cooler that I kind of was fascinated by, seen on YouTube, is called Colorado coolers, indirect evap coolers. Use one big fan, the one of those reverse inclined fan like an 800 had. Looks like an exhaust fan. Pushes the air in. 50% of the air goes through the bottom, wicks up through the cell deck. Or not cell deck. It's like a heat exchanger where the water wicks by the power of the air, at least on that one, and then that working air goes out the top, humid but cool, but it cools the heat exchanger where the other half of the air goes through into the space and is completely dry, completely conditioned air. They call it the whatever microcircular cycle or something like that. Someone invented it, but as it progresses down these chambers of heat exchangers, the dew point drops and they're able to obtain like 55, 60 degree air, even if the humidity is a little higher. So it's like, it brings the air down to like what an AC does. Probably uses a lot of water, but It's 100% air. It has a place for filters, so it's 100% outside air and it's filtered. So that'd be cool if somebody, if they use some of those here at places like this, but they don't. They just go with the cheap, units, and then otherwise suck. So, anyway, guys, I'm gonna take off. I need to get a couple pictures of the rodents here. Sorry, the insects. And before my phone overheats. So we'll catch you guys later.